We'll get started in just a second, everyone. Be sure to hit that like and share button. Hey, Austin. We are live tonight on Facebook and on YouTube. Talking severe weather. Thanks for joining us, Tina. And welcome in, everyone. Meteorologist Shane Smith here with you. It is Thursday, September 4th, right around 10 o'clock. And we're tracking the potential of some severe weather tomorrow across all of Kentucky. Had a few thunderstorms today pop up over severe limits. I know we had some very heavy rain and some gusty winds here in London. But the overall forecast is looking active as we have another cold front heading our way, and that could bring severe weather. So I wanted to pop on here, answer your questions about it, talk about it a little bit. Be sure to hit that like and share button as we tell you what to expect with tomorrow's storm system. I don't think this is going to be a big widespread outbreak, but there is the potential for a few storms to be very gusty and even a small chance of a tornado tomorrow that we can't completely rule out. So we're going to talk about that. Thank you for joining us, Sheena from up in Floyd County, Austin over in Pike County, Tina over in Letcher County. Thank you all for joining us. Let's get right to it and take a look at the current setup here on Radar Omega. And this surface map is a little bit out of date, but it gives you the idea. We have a cold front off to our east. That's what came through this morning, brought those strong thunderstorms and even a few severe storms down along the Virginia border earlier. That line has now pushed down into the Carolinas, and our next cold front is lining up off to the northwest. You can see that area of low pressure center now right near Minneapolis. I'm going to go ahead and take the little outdated surface fronts off. That's a couple hours out of date, but you can get the idea where that next frontal system is. Back up near Minneapolis, and that front is going to dive down into the mountains tomorrow and will bring another chance of showers and thunderstorms, some of which could be strong to severe, and some of them could happen during those high school football games tomorrow. So that's part of why I wanted to jump on here and talk about the risk, is because some of these thunderstorms could impact your Friday night lights, and I know a lot of folks like to get out to those football games. I want to make sure everybody's aware of what could happen while your local team is playing. So let's take a look at the threat tomorrow. This is the current severe weather outlook from the Storm Prediction Center for Friday. Now, if you're watching this on Friday morning after we recorded it and did the live Thursday evening, know that this will likely update. I will try to post that update as soon as I get it tomorrow. But right now, a good chunk of the state is under a slight risk, a 2 out of 5 on the severe weather scale. And notice the entire state under a marginal risk. So what does that mean? So the slight risk, the yellow, that means scattered severe thunderstorms are possible. They're going to be short-lived or not as widespread, but there are at least a few of these that could isolatedly be on the very intense side. The marginal risk, this means isolated severe thunderstorms are possible. Austin Kendrick asking, do I think 100% chance of rain in Pikeville tomorrow? I wouldn't say 100%, but a pretty high chance, probably 80 or 90. Let's see how the threats break down by the different categories. We're going to start with the wind outlook, and you'll notice that yellow area, a 15% chance of damaging winds. Those are winds in excess of 58 miles per hour. So that includes places like London, Somerset, Bowling Green, E-Town, up to Lexington, over towards Moorhead. Jackson is included in that. Paintsville is included in that, up towards Ashland. So a good chunk of the state is under that 15% risk that in that yellow of damaging winds. That means any point within that yellow, within 25 miles, could see winds tomorrow in excess of 58 miles per hour. Pretty much most of the state, with just a little exception down along the Virginia border, under a 2% tornado outlook. Now, that's not incredibly high by any stretch of the imagination, but it is enough to go ahead and start talking about there is a small chance of tornadoes tomorrow. It's not a big one. It's not even close to the same level of threat we saw back in May when we had the tornado roll through Somerset and London. But, as we saw earlier this year, even with a slight risk and one of those 2% risk, you can get a tornado touching down. So that is something we want to be very aware of tomorrow and be very diligent watching out for. And yeah, Chris, it is not good for high school football. Let's talk a little bit about the timing and show you how this all plays out and how it could affect those high school football games, because being a high school teacher, I definitely want to make sure folks know what the potential is. So we could see a few isolated storms, fire up down along the Tennessee and Virginia border early Friday morning. I don't think this part will be severe, but a couple of those storms could have some heavy rain and some gusty winds. And then as that cold front approaches, we'll see more storms develop, and any that develop out ahead of the main line, that's something we got to watch out for. I'm going to just pop up a real quick sounding just to look and see what it's showing. And thankfully, the wind profile on that one is not looking bad. But there could be a few pockets of high shear out there that could lead to a quick spin up or two. And even if we don't get a tornado, the potential of some damaging winds is definitely there. Here showing marginal risk of severe weather, and you're seeing the big driver of that. We're going to have a decent amount of energy tomorrow. Temperature is going to be in the mid 80s for highs. Dew points are going to creep back up again. So that is going to provide enough fuel for those thunderstorms. Notice that cape there over 2,000, and lifting condensation level there right around 900 millibars or so. That's a pretty good indicator that you could have some low to the ground clouds. That's enough to get some of those wind gusts mixing down to the surface pretty quickly. Thankfully, the overhead jet is not looking too terribly strong tomorrow, but still could see some wind gusts pushing 55, 60 miles per hour. So this is 9 o'clock tomorrow. So places that need to be on the lookout for thunderstorms during those football games tomorrow. Up into the Big Sandy, up into Johnson, Floyd, Martin counties. Back over towards McGoffin, Wolfe County, Breathitt County, Laurel County, Pulaski County, McCreary, Whitley County, starting to get into Knox County. So some of those locations, if this radar does end up panning out and being accurate, could see some strong thunderstorms during those football games. So that's something we gotta watch out for. Atten Woodsman on YouTube saying Corbin got some good rain today. We did here up in London as well. Austin Kendrick asking, do you think it's going to rain and storm all weekend? I don't think it's going to be all weekend, Austin. Joey Moss saying, hope it doesn't come working to cut a tree tomorrow. I would try to get that done early tomorrow, Joey, because once those storms do roll in, they could be a little bit strong. So the best chance of that, 7 o'clock there, possible renegade cell, Laurel County, some renegade cells down in the Lake Cumberland region. 9 o'clock, you got that line stretching from Paintsville back to London, back towards Nashville, Tennessee. Take it forward a little bit further. By 11 o'clock, Central Kentucky, another line developing. I don't like that look of that cell near Lexington at 11 o'clock tomorrow night, although A lot of shear, but we'll see how it plays out. Not as much cape. Sorry, doing a little analysis on the fly, folks. Some of this is I'm just seeing for the first time. We got some new data on. The storms continue into the early morning hours on Saturday. I think we do see some lingering showers and thunderstorms Saturday morning. That should clear out by midday Saturday. I think by Saturday afternoon and evening, we should see sky conditions improve across the area. I know we're doing some family photos Saturday evening, and I'm hoping that cloud cover clears out of here by about 6, 7 o'clock on Saturday. We will wait and see about that. Yeah, Chris, that's what I was referring to earlier when we had that tornado up in Washington County. I think it was either late June or excuse me, early June or late May. I think it may have been just like a week or two after the London Somerset tornado is when that tornado hit, and yeah, it was 2% risk, not a big risk. Yeah, once again, there's just another look at that radar, and yeah, some of those storms, if that future radar's right, they're going to pack a wallop. We should clear that out by Saturday afternoon. Let's take a look at the wind gust potential from the HRRR model. Yeah, you'll notice that line with Somerset, some 40 to 50 mile per hour winds showing up tomorrow around 8 o'clock. So if you're in the Cumberland Valley tomorrow, and then, oh, daggone, that cell over into Morgan County and Magoffin County, Wolfe County, showing some 60 to 70 mile per hour wind gusts. So if that verifies, that's like 9 o'clock tomorrow night. That could cause some problems. So, folks, heading out to watch those Friday night lights, need to make sure to be weather aware. Have a weather app that can get alerts. Take a weather radio with you to the game, and know where the nearest storm shelter is, just in case one of these blow in. Don't want to be caught out in these. 60 mile per hour winds, nothing to mess around with. And then you'll see the winds calm down on Saturday after the front passes. Just taking a quick look at the extended forecast. Once we get those storms out of here on Saturday, we should be nice and dry Sunday and Monday. Tuesday, staying dry for right now, according to the European model. Could see a few pop-ups on Wednesday. You'll notice the temperatures are going to start climbing back up next week. We should go mid to upper 80s by the middle to end of next week, and then another front comes in about this time next week. So we're in that time of year where those temperatures are going to bounce up and down as we make that transition from summer into fall. Meteorological fall already started, just waiting for the calendar to catch up. But do you have any questions that I can answer for you? I know we've been on here about 15 minutes so far, but just wanted to make sure everybody had a good idea of what to expect with those thunderstorms tomorrow. We are watching for that potential of severe weather. Mainly tomorrow evening is going to be the best chance of that. After, say, 5, 6 o'clock, that's when the best chance will be as that cold front dives on in. And unfortunately, that is right smack dab in the middle of a lot of those high school football games. So all you athletic directors out there, pay very close attention to the weather tomorrow evening. Check in with the folks in the National Weather Service, see what they're saying. Check in with your local emergency managers. I would just make sure that things are looking okay and that you can get those games in safely. We don't want to jeopardize anybody. Not saying we go call everything off, but just saying we need to be aware of the weather tomorrow night during those games and keep an eye on things. Don't want to get anybody get struck by lightning, because that is definitely a big threat when you have all those outdoor events. as lightning strikes can be lethal, and lightning can strike 20, 30 miles away from apparent thunderstorms. So you could have a thunderstorm in London and have a lightning strike all the way over in Manchester. So that's something to be aware of. All right. Well, we've gone about 15 minutes, and last call for questions. For those of y'all just joining us, this is Meteorologist Shane Smith. We're live on Facebook and YouTube tonight talking about severe weather potential for your Friday, September 5th. We're doing this live Thursday, September 4th around 10:15 p.m. And we are watching for the potential of a few isolated severe thunderstorms tomorrow. Once again, we'll pop the future radar up real quick, let you take a look at that, and show you when the best chance of some of those storms tomorrow are. Give me just 1 second. We'll reload that. There we go. Austin, I am going to try to update some tomorrow evening. This is 8 o'clock East Coast time, 7 o'clock Central time. So you notice if this model is correct, got a pretty potent thunderstorm there near Salyersville, heading over towards Paintsville. If this model's correct. Pretty good little thunderstorm there in eastern Jackson County, western Clay County, and Somerset, Wayne, and McCreary County is getting ready to get hammered at 8 o'clock East Coast time on Friday, if this model is correct. And once again, gusty winds, lightning, heavy rain, and a small but not zero chance of a tornado. 2% for most of the state tomorrow. I know that doesn't sound like much, but on most days that is a 0% chance. And as we saw earlier in the year, even under one of those 2% tornado risks, you can have a storm touch down and do some pretty good damage, like we found out in Washington County. Last call for questions. My pleasure, Austin. Happy to do it. All right, folks. Well, we'll get off here. I think the NFL game's kicking back off for the second half with the Eagles and the Cowboys. It was a violent first half. I'm going to go finish watching that game, and I'll have another update tomorrow, and if things get bad enough, I may pop on, do either a live stream or do quick little video. We will wait and see. So if you find value in this video, please hit that like or subscribe button. It really helps us out here. It makes it a little easier to do these more often. Be sure to subscribe and turn on those notifications. That way you can see when we go live. And thank you for stopping by. I'm always happy to talk weather in Kentucky. So until next time, friends, I'm meteorologist Shane Smith. Take care. Stay weather aware. We'll see you all in the next